Well, hello. It is April 4th. I'll give you some numbers if you're lucky on numbers. You like to play numbers? Today is 4/4/24. So, having said that, welcome back. And I wanted to come back to you because since my last video with the interview with Mr. Will Morris of Morris Legal out of Miami, Florida, concerning the class action lawsuit, I've had lots of questions. So that's why I'm bringing you this video today. I am going to walk you through each step, exactly what to do if you're desiring to join the worldwide class action lawsuit against NovaTech FX. If you're watching this, you have probably lost money and you want to figure out what to do to potentially get at least your initial investment back. So don't go away. I'm going to take you to that website, show you exactly what to do, exactly what each line means, so that way you can join. But first, a couple weeks ago, I did have Mr. Morris from Morris Legal on with a live interview. If you didn't catch that, go to the description. There is a link as well as near the end of the video up in one of these corners here or down here. You click on that or go to the description and click on that link and watch that interview. It's not long, but he covers a lot of information. And one of the things that I took away and that I've been preaching is don't get caught up in these scams. Maybe a couple years ago, maybe there was some legitimate ones out there, but nowadays it seems like over the last 6 to 9 months, there have been so many rug pulls. And so many YouTube influencers are just pushing these platforms. Don't fall for them. That's what I'm preaching now. Okay, yeah, some of you said, but Kurt, you were part of NovaTech. You made Zoom, or not Zooms, you made YouTube videos. I did, but I was documenting what my journey was, testing the waters, and you were kind of walking through it with me. This is new to me, and once I realized these things are scams, I can now say I've experienced it along with you. So if I can head off someone new getting suckered into these platforms, this is what it's all about. You know, I'd hate to have people join platforms and then having to keep joining these lawsuits and legal actions. Don't fall for a lot of the influencers out there. I hear them. I followed them. You know, they go from one to the other. And, you know, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm going to wait on that. But hey, let's jump into what you do if you want to join this class action lawsuit. So the company is Morris Legal. They are out of Miami, Florida. And it's Mr. Will Morris is the lead attorney. So let's hop straight over to the website. So what do we have? So if you want to go to the website, right up here in the URL bar, that's what it's called, is going to be Will Morris Law, WILMORRISLAW.com, willmorrislaw.com. That brings you to the class action lawsuit page. Now, as you notice, this is against two companies, FX and NovaTech. I guess you could say NovaTech FX. This cost you nothing to join. So you'll scroll down, you'll see here is FX and here's NovaTech's logo. You're on the right page. Keep scrolling down. If you have invested money in either of these Ponzi schemes, you can join our class action lawsuits. So let's click on this. I mean, if for some reason you're watching this and you were part of FX, okay, there's two of them. So he's looking for the names, address, country, state, address, zip code, phone, cell, email. You see asterisks by ones that are required. How much money did you invest? Who told you? Are you a member of the Adventist Church? Yes or no, and then submit. Let's close that one. Now let's hop down to NovaTech FX. That's primarily what I am going to focus on today. So you went to willmorrislaw.com and you scroll down and you click on NovaTech FX. You're going to fill in your first name, your last name, your address. Maybe I better not click in these. We're going to have all kinds of red boxes. Let's start over. I guess let's refresh this. Okay, I'm not going to click in the box and get all this red stuff. And I'm not even going to edit that out. So you're going to fill in your name, your address, your city, and your country. Now I'm going to click on this one here because people have asked, I'm from another country. Can I join? Yes. You can see all the different countries. Let's go right back up to A. I think he has got every country. Now, when they first put this out here, a couple months ago, they did not have all the countries. So you pick the country that you are from and you proceed on. So I click United States. I'm going to come down. I'm going to put in my state. I'm going to put in my address, my zip code, my phone number, cell, if you have two different ones, my email address. How much money did you invest? He was looking for how much money we initially put in. If you, when you enrolled in NovaTech FX, you put in $1,000, that's what you put. Even though you might have been compounding and maybe it was at $3,000, they're looking for how much money did you invest. Now, during our interview with Mr. Morris, the question was asked, what kind of proof are they going to need? If you took screenshots of your back office in NovaTech, great, hold on to them. If you were not able to before they shut the website down, in fact, it is shut down, it is gone, and that happened right after this class action lawsuit was filed. So you know that they are on it, and whatever reason, they took it down. Maybe their legal counsel, I don't know. So Mr. Moore said that you most likely used an exchange or you wired money in. If you wired money, you're going to have their documentation from your bank, which hopefully you kept. If you used an exchange and you sent the money over, you're going to have proof within that. You log into your exchange, write down your keys, take screenshots, whatever it is that shows what exchange you use and how much money that you put in. It's all going to be documented there. So who introduced you to NovaTech? The question was, well, what if I don't remember? If you don't remember, just put I don't remember in there. The reason that they are asking for who introduced you to NovaTech is not to drag your Aunt Beth into it because she told you about it. She put $100 in and you put $100 in and that's it. And Aunt Beth, didn't tell anybody else. No, if you put Aunt Beth in there, they're not going to go after her. What they're looking for is what they call the serial promoters. The people who do nothing but go from platform to platform, from program to program. The ones that you follow on YouTube, the ones that have the big Zoom calls, and they're constantly going from one company, so-called company, to another. I've watched them, you've watched them. It's the guys that they join one, they hype it up, and they'll say, well, the decision's got to be yours, but look how much money I'm making. I put $20,000 in, and look how much money I'm making. This thing is the greatest. This is the flagship of all platforms. Join now, but do it only at your own risk. And then 2 weeks later, a little more, a little less. Oh, they're gone, but I found this other one. This is great, and I'm making money. It's paying out so quick. It's easy. They're bona fide. They're really doing something. This is the flagship. This is the greatest. That's the people that they're looking for. The ones that will go from platform to platform, pushing it and promoting it, knowing that people who follow them or people who are naive are going to hear, oh, it's the greatest one out there now. It's the best one. Look how much money I made. I trust it so much, I put $25,000 in. And I've heard the influencers say that, one in particular. And there's others. They talk about the large amounts that they're putting in because they want to communicate to you that it's trustworthy. You can do it because I put a huge amount of money in. Those are the serial promoters. They know that it's a matter of time before that folds. And they suckered people in who don't know how to do their own research, who are desperate for money in today's economy, and they sign up and they get commissions off those people, and then all of a sudden, a short time later, it folds. They made their money back, but the small people underneath them that signed up, they just got screwed. And now those people who got screwed underneath the big promoter, the influencer, are looking for ways to recoup their money, and next week, all of a sudden, the influencer, the serial promoter, comes out with another one, says, this is greatest one out here. This is the best one ever. And they sign up thinking they're going to recoup their money, and they lose even more. And that keeps snowballing. Those are the ones that they're looking for. Because if they know, which how can you not know? Come on. How can you not know that these are Ponzi's? These are just ripoffs. People are going to put money in, and the people behind the website is going to do a rug pull, take the money, and they're gone. So why are we putting who introduced you to NovaTech? Because Morris Legal wants to know if all of a sudden 3,000 come in and there's John Doe, the big promoter who's listed in here. Okay, he should know better. They're going after him. They're going to include him. Now, let me go back to, this is the document, okay? This is the 52 or 53 page suit, and this is going to be revised, but I'm going to hold this up to the camera. I hope that you can see it. Where's my finger? Okay, right over here. Right here, against NovaTech, Petillons, Ricardo Roy, and we go down, and we start seeing people's names, and I recognize these. John Garfano, Pastor Bob, James Corbett, John Doe, 1 to 500. That's where they're going to put these big serial promoters who do nothing but push this. They sucker people in, and they push this. Don't fall for it. Let's go back to this document. Let's go back to the website, I mean. So you can put that in. If you don't feel comfortable, you can leave it blank or just put I don't know or NA. Now, this one down here. Are you a member of a church? This is really getting to people, and this is one of the first questions that Mr. Morse answers. You can answer it if you wish. And he said that they toyed with taking this out, but they left it in because this is the big component behind E-mini FX. E-mini FX was being pushed hugely through a church right here. And I'm not real familiar, but I'm just going on what Mr. Moore says, that E-mini FX was being promoted and pushed hugely out of a church. And that's why they have the question here. And it kind of flowed down to here because I believe, kind of reading between the lines, and what I picked up on is they want to determine, is it possible that this could have similarities to E-mini FX? You can answer any way you want. And Mr. Morse was very clear when it comes to NovaTech FX. If you want to say yes and put not applicable, you can do that. It's not going to disqualify you. So you answer that the way you want to. They are not going to go after your church. Now, if 5,000 people respond and say that there's this one big church, in a large city, I'll just making this up, okay? Making this up, people. Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, and all of a sudden there's 5,000 people that all responded that, hey, it's the same church. Okay, maybe something's going on. Maybe they need to send their investigators out, like, what's going on with this one big church that's really pushing this? But don't get hung up on that. That they're not going to go after your church, in your small town, small American town. And I'm just going to put, I'm a member of a church, and I'm going to put NA. I'm going to go N/A. Not applicable. That's the way I am going to respond to mine. So you fill this out, you hit submit. Let's go back. Here we are. What's going to happen next? Well, chances are you're not going to be contacted in the next week. Chances are it may take a couple months. Mr. Moore said that once this was filed through the courts, docket number assigned, their phones literally rang off the hook. And numerous times, they'd ring every 30 seconds, if not multiple times. They got to the point where they're not answering the phones. He says that if it's something that is urgent, you can send an email, and they're trying to do their best to respond to emails. But don't call. Don't go to their website. Don't go to morrislaw.com and call a telephone number and think you're going to get somebody and just talk about this. They are making plans to bring people on board to do nothing but address the emails and to go through all of these submissions, catalog them, spreadsheet, whatever they need to do, and then to start to follow up with people. So it may take a month. It may take a few months. This is going to be huge. This is worldwide. It was estimated that there was like over 500,000 participants in NovaTech, somewheres in the multiple billions of dollars. I want to say, was it $24 billion? It was a huge amount. They initially thought it was $2 billion. It's much more than that. They're in the process of partnering with other legal firms because they know the size of this. This is going to be national. If the feds, which I myself, and I have a really good grasp on how the investigative side of the federal government works, they're not going to come right out and have a big story on ABC, NBC TV that, hey, we're investigating this. No, all of a sudden something's going to happen and it's just going to break, and then we're going to hear about it. But behind the scenes, there was many months of investigation behind it. Something this large. Look what's just happened just recently. And I'm going to draw a blank on the two big players who were just sentenced on financial crime. One was the crypto guy, and the name's right on the tip of my tongue, but if you follow crypto and all this stuff, you're going to know who I'm talking about. And then there's another one. His last name, I think, started with M. He murdered his wife and son, and his big financial. The feds involved in that. Big investigations. And it took a while, and it's going to happen. So that's how big this one's going to be. So join this class action lawsuit if you so desire. I gave you the instructions, the website to go to. Be patient after that. It's going to take time for them to process all this information. This filing is going to probably go through multiple revisions, and Mr. Morse made that very clear. And when you're done watching this one, go click on the interview. Like I said, it's under an hour. I want to say maybe 40 minutes. So hear exactly what he has to say, and we're just going to have to be patient. How much money will we get back? We won't know. Does it matter if they can't find the petions? No, it doesn't matter. There's ways that they can file for these lawsuits. They can track money through the blockchain. So they will have investigators working on that. And I'm sure that the legal or the federal government, I'm sure, has already been working on that. When will this be resolved, this class action lawsuit? I don't expect to hear anything for at least a couple years. It may be 3 years. As large as this is, it's going to take a long time. Will we receive all of our initial investment? That's to be determined. They can't state. Even if it is a percentage of our initial investment, not what we had sitting in there after it was compounding for a year or two or so, but even if we can get a percentage of our initial investment, I'm happy with that. It's better than nothing. So, having said all that, I thank you for following me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and leave me a comment. I'm going to do my best to bring you updates as I start seeing people post questions. And a lot of questions are coming in. How do I join this? So I wanted to bring you this tutorial video, and I wanted to have some dialogue with you. Pass on to people who want to dabble in this that, no, it's not worth it. If you so desire to, you choose to, just know that most likely you're going to lose your money. I'm done losing my money on this. In the meantime, let's prepare for a beautiful spring leading into a wonderful summer. And as I get information, I will bring it to you. I thank you for sticking with me, YouTube family. If you have not hit that subscribe button, hit that. As I said, hit that like button and leave a comment. That does help with the algorithm of YouTube and lets me know that you do have an interest in my channel. And if I start to see interest in my channel, I will continue to bring you more information. And in the meantime, thank you again. And I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to continue on with my day. Bye now.